Hello, and welcome back to the Kitchen of the Southern Food and Beverage Museum. Today we will be making a very fun dish. We will make a pancake charcuterie board. So this works great when you're on vacation. If you want to do something really different on a Saturday morning, my kids, they love it. So the first thing we're going to do is make our pancakes. We have all of our ingredients here that we'll go over. We'll make them and then we'll get into building the charcuterie board itself. So we have some all-purpose flour, buttermilk, sugar, salt, vanilla, butter, a little bit of baking soda, baking powder, and 2 eggs lightly beaten. So the first thing we're going to do, you're going to do 2 separate bowls. You're going to do a dry bowl and a wet bowl. So you're going to put all your dry ingredients in a nice sifter. The one that you have, whatever you have at home is fine. So we're going to go ahead and add in half of our flour, and we're going to put our other ingredients in the middle. So that baking soda, baking powder, salt, and sugar. And then we're going to add the rest of the flour on top. It just helps to kind of get everything really mixed in together. Looks great. Okay. That on the side. Just going to give it a light little shake. We could do 2 actions, so we're getting a really good mix on everything as well as a nice sift. I'm going to add in the butter, and of course I want to get all of that butter fat, the buttermilk, the 2 eggs, and then the vanilla. Now we have our wet together. We're going to give it a slight mix just to get everything mixed together really well. And the next thing we're going to do is start to add in our dry into the bowl of wet ingredients. So we're going to go in, do a slight little mix, and then we're going to do a fold. So we want to keep folding this until all that flour is wet with the wet ingredients. The trick to this recipe is not over mixing it. We don't want them to be tough. So when you over mix your pancakes to have this really nice smooth batter, they're going to be really tough once you eat them. So we're going to just gently fold to get all that flour wet. And it's okay if you have a few chunks in there. That's perfectly fine. They will cook out inside of the mix once we cook them on the griddle. Done. This looks great. Now that we have everything mixed really well, we're going to let it sit. And it's just going to sit in this bowl on the counter for about 10 minutes. So now it's been 10 minutes and it's time for us to start making our pancakes. So I have my griddle that's on and it's nice and hot. I'm going to put a little bit of vegetable oil right there in the center. And I'm going to kind of roll this pan around slightly just to kind of get that oil distributed over the griddle. So I have right here, it's a 1/4 cup measure. So we're going to take 1 even scoop. I'm going to put it right there in the center of that griddle. Just kind of use your cup to spread it out. So what we're looking for is nice and brown edges around our pancake, and you'll start to see it start to bubble in the center when it's ready for us to flip. Looks great. Beautiful color. Remember, we're cooking most of this mix on the front side, so once you turn it over, it doesn't have to stay that long on the back side. So we're going to keep making these pancakes until we have enough to fill our charcuterie board. So now that our pancakes are complete and still warm, we're going to start putting together our charcuterie board. So the first thing we want to put down is our pancakes. Those should take up the most space on our board. They are, of course, the main event. So we're just going to take them. And you can make any type of fun shape you want. You can make like little S curves if you wanted to. But the main purpose is to just get all the pancakes that you want to use on the board. And then you're going to go ahead and start adding on your ingredients. So of course I have some maple syrup, so we're going to put that right at the top. I also have some butter, right? So we're going to keep that close to the maple syrup because they go together. And then I have some strawberry jam we're going to put on. I have some nuts as well. I have some fresh strawberries and blueberries. I also have some fantastic Nutella. So if you love Nutella, you love Nutella. Just make sure you have it on there. I have sprinkles and chocolate chips. And now I have some oven crisp bacon, right? You need that breakfast item. You need the meat protein item. I put that on. Just make sure that everything kind of has its own little place. And you can put as much or as little on the board as you want. Just make sure that it all stays on. And if, like now, I want to add this banana, so I'm just going to rearrange my pancake slightly to make room to add my banana. And this is it. This is our charcuterie board, our pancake charcuterie board, which is amazing. I love it. It's delicious. It's fun. And I know you're going to enjoy it. I hope you try this recipe, and I can't wait for you to come down and visit me at the Southern Food and Beverage Museum.